if you could live in a city, the next 20 years is probably going to be the greatest chapter in the history of this city. We think the cost of many, many things is going to fall tremendously as technology just delivers to us abundance. The flip side of that is there'll be a political fallout from all of this, which we talk to our clients about, which is unknowable. Honestly, the political class hasn't addressed this yet. They haven't done it. They're going to have to soon because this is going to really get going. But when we talk about investing, we're really thinking that very, very simply, 10 years from now, profits are going to be way higher than they are today. I think people are a little naive to the amount of disruption that's coming, and there's going to be a lot of losers, right? And so our philosophy and view is, at least in public markets, we want to own a lot of things, right? We want to be really broadly invested, low cost, tax efficient, because there's going to be a lot of failures. And how indexes work is the winners go to the top and the losers fall to the bottom. I think there's going to be a lot of losers, so we think you want to be more indexed.
The ultra wealthy, they actually see the upside of all this technological change and they want to be a part of it, so they're investing. I think where the fear is around the job space. So I think folks that are worried about having a job are going to be spending less. And so I think that is an issue and that is a risk. And I think that gets to where the political risk, which is what we see as the biggest risk in the next few years, lies.
Yeah, we tend to get pessimistic when we focus on the status quo staying that way, right? And so right now, what's one of the things that's expensive in Florida is real estate, right? But I can give you a couple of reasons why 5 years from now it might be cheaper. Why? Well, the types of real estate that we have will change, right? If driverless cars, which we're starting to see, are just beginning to roll out in Miami, we're going to need less parking spots, less garages, less cars. That's going to free up a lot of land in Dade County that can be repurposed for housing and other things. So building costs will go down as robotics get into these things. So a lot of problems that we have are going to get solved by the same technology that's going to be super disruptive.
The issue around housing that Miami is going through is similar to what a lot of cities in a boom phase go through, and that is that the people that need to do a lot of the work that has to get done can't afford to live reasonably close. And so I think what needs to happen is you either need to build the housing, and I would say Florida is in some ways quite efficient at doing that. Miami has had issues, but I think that's improving in terms of building supply. And then you need to improve the transportation, and that's an area so that people can get in from further more efficiently. And I think as Patrick alluded to, that driverless cars may be a game changer for that, as will other investments in transportation. But I think clearly that needs to improve. That is an issue that's real.
My vision of what Miami is going to look like in 5 years is really different than probably what most people think. I think the city's going vertical. We're going to be apartments, and apartments are going to be really nice, and they're going to be reasonably priced relatively because they're building tons of them, and they're just going to keep building them. And then transportation is going to be, you're going to be driving in a Waymo, and so your transportation costs are going to go. Right now, it's like $2.30 a mile to rent in an Uber. Your own car costs you 85 cents, and they estimate in 5 years it'll be like 30 cents a mile is what it's going to cost to be in a Tesla taxi. So that's going to make the city more affordable, and it's going to make cities much more interesting to be in when that happens for young people, because you can live in an apartment, you don't need a car, you can get everywhere, it'll be easy, the city core will be where everything is at. And so just imagine that's what it's going to be like. It's going to be a really exciting place to live and work, and lots of people are going to want to be here. They're going to want to be here. Like young people want to be in New York because of the density. That's what's coming from Miami.